Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers was the Heisman frontrunner before his injury last week. He is out today. So enter Arch Manning, the quarterback born and raised for this moment. Start number one for the number one team in college football as Texas hosts Louisiana Monroe on SEC Network. With that, hello and welcome to DKR. I'm Lowell Galindo with my guy as always, Fozzie Whitaker. Alex Chappell will join us down on the field. It is Arch Madness right now in Austin, Texas, and for good reason. I mean, you got the Manning pedigree at that quarterback position and the way that Arch played last week when Quinn Ewers went down. But here are the two absolutes of this situation. First off, Arch Manning is the quarterback of the future for this Texas program, and the coaches believe he will be great. But secondly, and most importantly, this is Quinn Ewers' team. I asked Steve Sarkisian yesterday point blank, when he is back healthy, is he your starting quarterback? And the answer without hesitation, yes. How does the team handle this?
Well, just like my lapel pin, Hakuna Matata, it means no worries. Business goes on as usual, and that's what Arch Manning has showcased ever since he has taken over the helm. And you look here, highlights from Colorado State, his first passing touchdown in his career. And then not only can he do it by creating outside of the pocket, but he got a left leg named Ricky Bobby, right leg named Cal Naughton Jr. Little shake and bake right there as he runs 20 miles per hour to the end zone. And not only that, he has a wicked arm as he finds Ryan Wingo to throw for 4 passing touchdowns just a week ago.
You said 20 miles per hour?
20 miles per hour.
That is moving. Arch Manning last week filling in for Quinn Ewers, the first Texas freshman with 5 total touchdowns since Colt McCoy, who is in the building for this historic moment. History for Steve Sarkisian. His program is number 1 in the top 25. He briefly addressed it on Monday, but he's going on with something he learned from Nick Saban. It's business as usual. For Louisiana Monroe, Bryant Vincent in his 3rd game as a head coach, already making a huge impact. They had a bye week, but before that, shocked UAB as 2 touchdown underdogs at home. And for the first time since 2008, the Longhorns will start a game as the number 1 team in America. And that kick is low, bounces off a Texas player, but we have a whistle blowing that dead. And it looks like the ball fell off the tee right before the kick. So Kyle Olson says, let's do it again. Yeah. As anticlimactic as it can get in that moment. So tee it up, let's do it again. Max Larson to kick it away for the Warhawks. DeAndre Moore Jr. is back deep. Moore with the return from the 10. That's Matthew Golden on the return. Solid field position for the Longhorns. So on September 21st, 1968, Archie Manning made his first career start for Ole Miss. Exactly 56 years later, his grandson Arch starts for the first time at the University of Texas. And immediately with the Manning tradition hushing the crowd, Jaden Blue returns to the lineup. Manning with the fake, pressured, and that sells high as he was looking for Matthew Golden. Fozzie, what do you need to see from Arch Manning today?
Well, I want to see poise. I want to see how he handles adversity. I want to see how he handles a full workload of actually running the starting quarterback position for an entire game. Right now we see the incompletion. How does he respond and bounce back?
Can only imagine the juice, the nerves flowing through the veins of Arch Manning right now. And there is Jaden Blue, stopped after about a 5-yard pickup. How big is his presence for Manning?
It's going to be critical. Jaden Blue missed last week's game after suffering an injury against Michigan. He is one of the most impactful players on this offense, especially at the running back position. Him getting going early will help in the success of taking the load off of Arch Manning.
3rd and 3 for the Texas offense. Manning trying to move the chains. It's going to be close, But on the initial spot, it looks like DeAndre Moore Jr. will. First down, Texas.
Here's the best friend to a young quarterback is having time to protect. You see the offensive line gives Arch all day to be able to complete that pass. DeAndre Moore brings in the contested catch. First down on this first drive.
Two tight ends on the right side of the formation, Gunnar Helm and Juan Davis. Manning looking left, will scramble, and a flag is down after Manning picks up 2.
Holding, offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on the right guard, DJ Campbell. The right side of the line. There hasn't been many issues for this Texas offense. Penalties on that side has been.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see right here, he just takes number 97 by the shoulder pads. He doesn't give him an opportunity to make his move and then release and refire. And that creates the penalty right there. It puts Texas behind the chains on first down.
Going back to the ground. Blue left side, tripped up. Solid defense from Cavante Wells to make the stop. Still trying to see Jaden Blue break the big one. 17 yards, his longest run so far this season.
And as explosive as he is, I'm sure Steve Sarkisian will find ways to get him the ball creatively to allow his explosive nature to be able to showcase itself throughout the course of this game.
Arch of the play action. Blue with the big block, stretching downfield and complete into the midst of the Oregon State transfer, Silas Bolden.
And if you can run the ball effectively like they've been able to already, the play action is a huge bonus. And then you see the pocket that Arch is able to throw from. It allows him to find the receiver and complete the pass.
Arch Manning now 10 of 11 off play action passes so far this year. That's becoming his bread and butter. Talked to Coach Sarkisian coming into this game. He's not going to match what Quinn Ewers can do in the short and intermediate game, but downfield, Sark said that Arch Manning may be a better passer right now than Ewers.
Yeah, and that's starting to showcase. We'll see here midfield. You get a chance to take a shot on Sark, second and short. We'll see how aggressive Sark wants to be.
Another chance on the run, shakes one defender, gets rocked by the second, and it is picked off. Carl Funtroy, the transfer from UAB, becomes the first player to pick off Arch Manning.
Yeah, just an ill-advised throw there. Under pressure, you don't want to see Arch make a decision like that under duress. This is what you want to have happen, though, is whenever a play like that is made, your defense has to respond. For ULM, how do they turn this positive into points? Well, offensively, use that momentum.
Young Arch Manning learning from his mistake with the help of the new technology allowed in college football, the tablet on the sideline, and the elder statesman at quarterback, Quinn Ewers. Let's check in with Alex Chappell.
Hey, Lowell and Fozzie. Well, Quinn Ewers has been locked in, dialed in from the start of this one. He might not be playing, but it doesn't mean he isn't contributing. You saw him talking there with Arch Manning. From the sideline, he's had an earpiece in, all eyes on the offense. Steve Sarkisian said his oblique strain is drastically better than a week ago and didn't rule out that Ewers wouldn't play next week.
General Booty throwing on the run, going to Nate Sullivan Jr., one of the 4 tight ends that will be prominently featured for this Warhawks offense. We talked about the Manning name. The Booty last name is to Shreveport, Louisiana. What the Manning last name is to New Orleans. His uncles, Josh Booty, quarterback for Nick Saban at LSU. John David, quarterback for Pete Carroll and Steve Sarkisian at USC. Second down and going to the star freshman, that's Ahmad Hardy. But Alfred Collins stout in the middle, Foster.
Yeah, this ULM offense has had success in their first 2 games. It was a real test, obviously, for them going up against this Texas defense, but it seems like Texas is up to the challenge. ULM, first third down situation, how do they respond?
Texas defense trying to start the 4th game in a row with a 3 and out. Devon Wells in motion. And that's going to lead to the timeout called by Louisiana Monroe.
Timeout, ULM. Their first of the half.
Now, this is the first time on the road for the Warhawks. They played at home in Monroe for the first 2 games. What's the challenges for a team like this coming here?
Well, number one, we had a chance to speak with Elijah Fisher, who's the starting left guard. He played here 2 years ago in that game, in that matchup, and it was his first start, and he mentioned that he wanted to share to his teammates the cannon is very loud, number one, but then also being able to over-communicate so that they are able to hear each other's calls is going to be the main important factor because of how large this stadium is.
See that nugget? 73 newcomers. Woo! Only North Texas with more. And that is Elijah Fisher, who will never forget his first game as an offensive lineman. His assignment was Byron Murphy. Didn't have a lot of great memories from that. Third and 7 for General Booty. The former Oklahoma quarterback nailed, dropped. Anthony Hill Jr. there for the sack, his second of the season.
Yeah, here's one thing. We talked with Coach PK about getting more edge pressure. And you can see here, General Booty, he has an opportunity to make a play, but the routes in man-to-man were covered so well that he had to tuck the ball and hold on to it a little bit longer. And you see Anthony Hill Jr. and Vernon Broughton have a party in the backfield. First sack for this Texas Longhorn defense.
Mackenzie Ryan to punt. There is a flag down. It is a short punt. Silas Bolden calls for the fair catch, but sort out the laundry down at about the 24-yard line.
The flag was thrown immediately too, so that seems to may indicate that somebody either lined up offsides or the formation was illegal on the punt team.
And that is going to go against the Warhawks.
Illegal formation, kicking team, 5 or more players in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So we'll do it again. Bryant Vincent, last season, offensive coordinator in New Mexico, where he had one of the best rushing offenses in college football. That win against UAB meant so much to him. He was the interim coach at UAB a couple of years ago. They passed him up to go with Trent Dilfer as a full-time head coach. So UAB comes to Monroe, Louisiana, and the Warhawks put it to Trent Dilfer and those Blazers. 4th and 17. Ryan tries to get the kick off. He does. This is a much better kick. Bolden going back, great hands, but he hits the 20. Now has to cut north, trying to find some green, and he's out at the 35-yard line. Well, if we can track miles per hour with the arch run last week, I want to see exactly how long Bolden ran for that yardage there.
I can tell you one thing, that was a long travel right there, and to your point, Arch Manning being clocked at 20.7 miles per hour just a week ago. He would have gotten a ticket if he was running on Dean Keaton, because the speed limit on Dean Keaton is 15 miles per hour, Lowell.
Isaiah Bond, though, wanted to make sure we understand that he's been clocked so far at 22 miles per hour. So he still has arch.
He also would have gotten a ticket.
Yes. Yes, he would.
Daring to kick, holding, receiving team, number 18. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
So that will back up Arch Manning farther for his second drive as the starting quarterback of these Texas Longhorns. Some uncharacteristic mistakes that we really haven't seen from this Texas team early in games.
Absolutely. This is what I talked about at the beginning of the first drive. Arch Manning hasn't necessarily faced the adversity that he's facing now, with the first drive ending up in a turnover. And let me mind you, Louisiana Monroe is number 7 in the country coming into this game in turnover margins. So that is something that they do very well. See how Arch Manning responds to that, and how Steve Sarkisian maybe favors the play calling to help Arch Manning get over that interception a lot quicker.
This is all about growth and maturity Arch Manning a long ways from a finished product.
Yes.
Texas coaches will tell you that. But the way he has developed since arriving on campus has been eye-opening. Jaden Blue with the carry. Some patience. It's a little bit of daylight up the middle following the blocks of Jake Majors, and that is a concern as DeAndre Moore is limping off the field. Isaiah Bond says he's the veteran of the returning receivers for Texas. Bond lowers his shoulder, but David Gotze was there.
Yeah, you can see Steve Sarkisian pick up the tempo on these last two plays. UL Monroe was up to the task on that second down. They're up to the line quickly. 3rd and short.
Manning pulls it from Blue all day. Take his shot. Why not? There he is. Isaiah Bond. We mentioned it earlier. If there's one area of his game that right now Manning may do better than Quinn Ewers, it's that deep shot. 57 yards.
Well, that 22 miles per hour was on full display right there, and Arch Manning has the arm strength to be able to get it to him. But again, the offensive line is the reason why Arch Manning has that much time to be able to throw an accurate ball that deep.
Inside the red zone, this was the huge issue for Texas offensively last year. Number 121 in touchdown percentage. They've cashed in 14 of 16 times this far. Blue still up, shakes a tackle. And inside the 10-yard line, Carlin Vigors almost had the tackle for loss, but Billy Pullen chases him down.
Again, going back to that big bomb right there, you see the pocket is clean, and then you just go give it to your guy, Isaiah Bond, who is an absolute nightmare matchup for any team, let alone one-on-one with the corner or try to have safety over the top help. It doesn't matter. He's going to beat you whenever it comes down to those types of matchups.
This is Gunnar Helm territory inside the red zone. Right now, it's all about Jaden Blue. That ankle looking a lot better, Fozzie.
Absolutely. You see, even the play prior to this, UL Monroe fires the cat trigger, which is the cornerback firing and releasing. He breaks that tackle, makes the negative play into a positive play, get it back to him. Let's see what he does again.
On the ground, Blue fighting his way forward. It's going to be close. The initial spot is short, but it will move the chains. So it is a first down, but short of the end zone.
And again, going tempo here. Don't allow UL Monroe time to set up. Texas going fast.
Blue up the middle. UL Monroe, for the moment, had they held. Touchdown, Jaden Blue. Second touchdown of the season for the junior from Houston. And that's how you bounce back.
Yeah, this is a big push right here. Jaden Blue showcasing his skills. Not only is he fast and elusive, but he shows how powerful he is. Getting right behind that offensive line. They push into the end zone. 6 points for this Texas offense. But what I want to highlight is the response that Arch Manning had after throwing that interception.
Still probably the stat that will excite Steve Sarkisian the most. 17 red zone opportunities, 15 touchdowns after Jaden Blue punches it in to give Texas a 7-0 lead. Texas cannot be more excited to see Jaden Blue back and running healthy. Tweaked that ankle early in the win in Ann Arbor against the Michigan Wolverines. He finds the end zone to make it 7-0 Texas. Fozzie, how did it all go down?
Well, the last drive featured Jaden Blue from the jump. They were able to get the run game established, which opened up an opportunity for Arch to throw this beautiful pass right there. Offensive line did a great job. And then you accentuate it. Start with Jaden Blue, finish with Jaden Blue. Drive those legs, young man. Texas finds the end zone. First rushing touchdown on the season for Jaden Blue.
The big plays, which is becoming a calling card of this Texas offense, on display. They now have 7 plays of at least 40 yards coming into this week. Only Bama had more against FBS competition with 7. As
Steve Sarkisian loves to hear those numbers. Whenever you have big explosive plays, that usually translates into points, as we see Texas take full advantage there and put up 7 on the scoreboard.
And not going conservative at all after that early interception.
Go get it. Go get it, young man. That's the mentality, right? You got to think about it, get over it, learn from it, and what Quinn Ewers probably was telling him with the tablet, and then you see the execution happen next drive.
The offensive approach for General Booty and Louisiana Monroe is much more methodical. Quick pitch to Ahmad Hardy, and the freshman picks up about 6. Freshman out of Monticello, Mississippi. They really believe that in this system he can be a star because it's the same system that produced NFL running back Jordan Howard and Dwayne McBride, who led the country in rushing in 2022.
Yeah, Coach Vincent mentioned he has shades of what Dwayne McBride has done, and we've been able to see that in his first 2 games. That is the focal point of this offense, and they look to get him started early on as they've done these 2 drives.
Really was a coup to get him to Monroe. And that's picked off. Anthony Hill into the big mix. Trying to take it the distance. Got a block. Jumped the man. He's in. There is a flag down. Will it take away that rumbling touchdown by the man-child that's made plays since he walked on campus 1 year ago?
Phenomenal execution right there. Able to read the eyes of the quarterback as they go to play action. Anthony Hill is not fooled. He read the scouting report. He knows exactly what they want to do. He sits right in the passing lane, intercepts it, and gives a big play to this Texas defense.
During the interception return, illegal block in the back, intercepting team, number 8, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
So I get it. Trey Moore is trying to pave the way because it was going to be close whether Hill got in. Break it down.
Yeah, here you go. You see the play action right there. General Booty has time, but what Hill does great was read the eyes of General Booty as he gives a little hezzy step right there. Trey Moore, I don't know about that penalty block in the back, but I think the return by Hill Jr. was exceptional, and it gives this Texas team 6 interceptions on the season.
The most in the SEC, and he was thinking that he was going to have that good argument with Colton Vosek to say who did it better, or excuse me, Ethan Burke a week ago, who found the end zone better on a pick 6. You know, that one reminds me a little bit of the Alfred Collins interception in the Alamo Bowl when he was a freshman.
Yes.
The quick tip and the pick. Jarrett Gibson is now the running back, but Manning will throw. He's hit. And this is the biggest difference that I've seen between Ewers and Manning. Manning, for whatever reason, is taking a lot more shots.
Well, part of that is the young running back, right? You have a true freshman in there. Steve Sarkisian mentioned to us, right? We know Jarrett Gibson can run the ball, but can he do everything else that comes with playing the running back position? And there, he gets defeated one-on-one block off of the edge, which caused the pressure to hit Arch Manning, which resulted in the inaccurate throw and the incompletion.
Bond in motion to the freshman Gibson, and he's brought down for a loss. Earl Barquette Jr., former USC Trojan and TCU Horned Frog, with the stop.
Yeah, Barquette has already made his presence felt on tonight. He's had multiple opportunities to feature in the backfield, and as you see, Jarrett Gibson lipping off of the field, that's not a sign that you want to see at a position that you're already thin in.
Especially because Quintravion Wiesner is a little banged up for this game, may not even play. And on a quick slant, Gunnar Helm trying to get that stiff arm. Will this be the horse collar? Wydett Williams Jr., the ultra-aggressive safety, made the tackle attempt.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 12. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Now let's take a look at the replay here. You see Gunnar Helm split out wide, and then he catches that slant ball one-on-one. That's a hard task for any defender to be able to ask. Bringing down a guy like Gunnar Helm, Obviously, the hands were up high on the head and shoulder neck area. They call the penalty first down for the Texas Longhorns.
Manning on her center, rolling to the right, throwing on the run, the dart to Jaden Blue. And the ballad of Archie Who is ready for a remix.
The roll pass, one of my favorite routes as a running back. Free release, flank the defense right now. And Jaden Blue absolutely has the speed to be able to flank the defense. They lose him as Arch Manning continues to roll out. Jaden Blue has enough speed to get to the sideline. And by that time, it's too late for the defense to recover. Another touchdown for Jaden Blue and another throwing touchdown for Arch Manning.
So Anthony Hill doesn't get his touchdown, but the interception sets up a 4-play, 13-yard drive to show some of that athleticism. That looks like Pops Cooper playing a little receiver back in his day. The numbers so far for Arch Manning's first career start: 5 of 8, 89 yards, a touchdown, and a pick on the opening drive. It has been 3 total drives engineered by Arch Manning, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think whenever you look at how he's been able to respond to that first interception, the adversity that the offense faced, they've done a great job, and defense has helped with that, with the sudden change interception.
And that will go out into the end zone, and ULM will take over at the 25. What have you seen from young Arch Manning so far?
Yeah, I think the poise and the comfortness in the pocket as he throws a dime right there to Silas Bowden. Again, offensive line gives him all the time that he needs to make this exceptional throw to Isaiah Bond, and then there you go, the rollout pass. Use the athleticism that Arch Manning possesses, finds Jaden Blue in the end zone for their second touchdown and Arch Manning's first passing touchdown of the night.
You understand the hype and the excitement when you actually see him play. There's so many things he does at a high level.
Absolutely.
Taven Curry now checks in at running back. Curry running right side, and there is Hill with the stop. Ethan Burke had the first opportunity, could not make the tackle. If you're the Warhawks, what do you do? What do you do to slow it down and get back in this?
Well, first thing you have to do is what they did right there. Stay ahead of the chains on first down. You see a huge pickup, 7-yard gain on first down. That opens up the playbook tremendously for Coach Vincent to be able to give his quarterback the opportunity to have a safe play on second down.
Still looking for the first down of the night for the Warhawks. Tight end is the lead blocker, and it is back to Curry, and Curry will push forward, and that will move the sticks. So there is that initial first down. Ultimately, what it comes down to, right? You want to sustain a drive, you got to get those markers moving.
But you also got to play a little bit of keep away, right? Controlling the line of scrimmage is going to be a tall task for ULM against this Texas defense, but being able to make sure you pick up first downs helps, number one, get your defense some rest, and then number two, an opportunity to sustain drives and put points on the board.
And it's been a keep away approach for Bryant Vincent, the head coach, who's also the play caller. Warhawks 10th nationally in time of possession at 34 minutes a game. General Booty is just going to throw this one away. He feels some pressure by Ethan Burke in the backfield. The edge rushers on this Texas defense completely different. Whereas inside, still a work in progress with no Devondre Sweat and Byron Murphy. The edge guys are different.
Absolutely, and we had a chance to speak with Barron Terrell yesterday in our coaches meeting, and he mentioned how pressuring the quarterback and impacting the pocket, moving the pocket was the point of emphasis this offseason. We're starting to see the outside edge pressure of this Texas defense become a factor and help them win games.
Booty will roll, batted down by Burke.
Back-to-back plays right there by Ethan Burke, forced the pressure on that first down play, and now you see him forcing pressure again, putting those long arms up. Man, this guy is a tree. Whenever you're trying to throw around him, General Booty obviously couldn't complete the pass because of how big and how long Ethan Burke is.
Told that tight end, Nate Sullivan, ain't gonna be enough right here. 3rd and 10. Andrew Makuba, number 4, the safety, was cheating toward the line. He backs out along with John A. Barrett. Vernon Broughton had the pressure, along with Colin Simmons, who you absolutely love.
Colin Simmons is an absolute beast. 5-star freshman from Duncanville, Texas. I've been following his progress over the past couple of seasons in the state championship game. And what he did at the high school level, he's continuing to do, and it has translated to success at the collegiate level as he leads the team in sacks currently. And obviously his presence was felt right there against ULM, and General Booty didn't have time to throw.
High snap. Calling for the fair catch. This is Silas Bolden. So the defense doing its job. Pitching another shutout. It's a defensive unit that has allowed 19 points through 3 games. Texas hasn't done that since they did it in back-to-back seasons in 82 and 83. That 83 team led by the great Jerry Gray and Mossy Kane. Tonight, though, the headline is that man, Arch Manning, making his first career start, trying to come away with the win in his first start, like granddad Archie at Ole Miss, and his uncles Peyton at Tennessee, and Eli also at Ole Miss. No gain there for Jaden Blue. Billy Pullen with the stop.
Here's what we're starting to notice as Big Cam Williams has to come off after he lost his helmet. Insert in young freshman Brandon Baker at the right tackle. And Steve Sarkisian wants to get the ball to Jaden Blue, and they've utilized the counter as their go-to run early on in this game. We'll see how Louisiana Monroe continues to fit that.
Bolden in motion. Manning will throw, going back the other way, and it's dropped by Jaden Blue.
Yeah, he might have saw the green grass ahead of him because there was a lot of it, and those blockers were out in front, creating an opportunity for Jaden Blue to make a big play there. Just got to keep your eyes on the ball, young fella. Louisiana Monroe seems to have dodged a bullet there as they put Texas in 3rd and long right here for the first time.
In 1 week, Arch Manning went from the 33 shortest odds to win the Heisman to the 7th. The bread and butter. Deep shot. This is at least going to draw a flag, and it does. Ryan Wingo, the freshman, big target, is able to draw the contact.
Yeah, it appears the defender got to Ryan Wingo a little bit early.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's against Trevor Randall. Here's Wingo.
Yeah, Wingo one-on-one again. All the time that Arch Manning needs. Ball slightly underthrown, but sometimes those underthrows allow you to pick up yardage even when it wasn't intended the way that it was supposed to happen. And you see Ryan Wingo there trying to make the attempt to catch the ball and couldn't because of the interference call.
Joining Xavier Worthy last week was the only freshman over the last 10 years with 125 through the air and a touchdown. So why not go back to the big target, the number 8 wide receiver prospect last season in the ESPN 300 instant impact.
Again, that's what you want to see, right? Ryan Wingo didn't get an opportunity to get the deep ball to play before. Well, Arch Manning says, don't worry, I got your back. Here you go. Throws another dot coming into this game. 31 yards per touch is what Ryan Wingo was averaging.
Starting to see some of that rhythm now clicking for Arch Manning. Quick toss left side. Juan Davis, his second catch of the season. Completes it with a little spin cycle. A nice pickup on first down. Juan Davis is a testament of perseverance with this Texas program. Has not had a lot of playing time early in his career, but he's doing a fine job so far now in his 4th game. Here's Jaden Blue. Oh, it looked like he was going to bust out of that one. And good for the first down.
Yeah, I can't talk enough about how good this offensive line has been able to block. You see the inside zone there. Hat is on the hat. Free hitter right in the line. Jaden Blue is able to slip him, loses his feet, but a big first down gain for the Texas Longhorns as they move into the red zone.
The left side of the line, Banks and Connor made their first career starts against this program 2 years ago, and they've been starters ever since. Manning going through the progressions. The touch, no doubt. Find the freshman. Let him work some magic. 17 yards. Redshirt freshman Arch Manning. True freshman Ryan Wingo.
Mama, there goes that man yet again. And I'm talking about Arch Manning showcasing the beautiful arm, the beautiful pass. Excellent protection by the offensive line. And then an even better route by Ryan Wingo. It sets up the double move right there. Pick up by Jaden Blue. See you one-on-one. You can't handle it. Texas puts up another 6 points.
17-yard touchdown. An extra point. And it now is 21-0, and we still got time to go in the first stanza. 8 of 12, 138, 2 touchdowns, a pick. But what is most impressive with all of this, he's looked his best after the interception.
Yeah, the poise is what I'm most impressed about, how he's able to handle that. And then Ryan Wingo, every single time he has touched the field, he's made a tremendous impact. And the celebration right there is felt not just from the quarterback to the receiver, but the entire offense, understanding it is business as usual, as Arch Manning has now put up 21 points and helping lead this Texas team to a 3-score lead.
How about these receivers, though? You're talking, it was gutted a year ago because of the draft, losing some great playmakers. They have done as good of a job as any program in America in terms of upgrading through the transfer portal at one position.
Yeah, and then don't forget, DeAndre Moore already was off into the locker room, so they're down one of their starters. Ryan Wingo steps up in a big way.
Got him late in the recruiting process. But he's done some things so far that just make you say, wow, it could be one of the great ones.
Yeah, his size, his speed, all the intangibles that you want to see from a 5-star prolific athlete. Ryan Wingo embodies all of that, and then you couple that in with the offensive mind that Steve Sarkisian has. Getting him the ball is obviously one of his top priorities. Whenever you do, good things happen as Texas scores yet another touchdown, throwing it to Ryan Wingo.
So much new for Louisiana Monroe. I mentioned the 73 new players, second most of the FBS. First ever game against the AP #1 team. Booty running, put it in the hands of Ahmad Hardy. Stonewalled by the Texas defense. As Maurice Blackwell is in to make the stop. Michael Taft, very active as well. And this is a Texas secondary playing without Derek Williams, out with an injury tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Another area where this Texas team is experiencing some adversity, but an opportunity for a guy like Jordan Rubel Johnson, true freshman, to be able to make some plays and get some valuable experience underneath his belt.
Hardy, right side. That's good for a 5-yard pickup. Ethan Burke there for the stop. As the first quarter is winding down. That was to the heart of this Texas defensive line. And we asked defensive coordinator Pete Kwiatkowski what he thought of the new look interior-wise with the D-line. Said, good so far, solid. Asked him, is solid going to be good enough when he gets to the SEC? His answer, we'll find out. .35. Warhawks have not heard this kind of noise this season. Beautiful touch. Hardy needs to stay up and does a DKR turf monster almost got him there. That is a huge pickup and will bring us to the end of the first quarter. It is Arch Madness inside Darrell K. Royals Texas Memorial Stadium. Opening drive, it was an interception, but it's been nearly flawless since that pick. Texas with the lead, 21-0 after the first quarter. Texas now outscoring opponents 49-0 in the first quarter this season. They're up on Louisiana Monroe, 21-0. You see Arch Manning making his first career start through an interception on the opening drive from Texas. He has responded, completing 6 of his 8 passes since that INT. Lord Lindo, Fozzie Whitaker. We'll hear from Alex Chappell in just a moment as we begin the second quarter here in Austin, Texas. Ahmad Hardy with the carry. And nothing there. Moments ago, Alex talked with the head coach of ULM, Brian Vincent.
Coach Vincent, tough road environment, some self-inflicted mistakes and penalties. Early on here, how do you address that with your team?
You know, we just got to calm down. We got to settle down. We got to take it one play at a time. We just got to execute. Our offensively, we put our defense in 2 bad situations, not executing drives. We just got to settle down. Let's get some first downs, and let's give our defense a rest, and let's see if we can put the ball in the end zone.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Absolutely, thank you.
Lowell?
Alex, thank you so much. General Booty throwing behind. And that is incomplete, looking for Taven Curry. Here's another third down opportunity. Last third down conversion, you love the play call.
Yeah, Coach Vincent obviously knew that Texas would be in a man-to-man situation, which they have already shown up to this point. Calls a couple rub routes that gets the running back free. Ahmad Hardy makes the catch. If he keeps his feet, it would have been a big explosive gain, but they still picked up the first down.
Pete Kwiatkowski, defensive coordinator for Texas, has the best third down defense since the start of last season. Holding opponents under 26%. Third and feels like forever. Curry playing it safe. And Vernon Broughton is there for the stop. Now we'll bring out the punt unit for ULM. What is it about the Longhorns' looks on third down?
Yeah, they give you so many multiple looks. They like to pull out the dime or the NASCAR package where you see Colin Simmons goes in. He's lined up all over the place. They have that dime and nickel personnel, and it's hard for the offense to be able to identify who's rushing and who's not, and it confuses and creates pressure.
Bolden is back to field the punt, and this is going to the far side of the field towards Michael Taff. There is a flag down at the 36-yard line on the Texas end of the field.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 8. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
So the start for Arch Manning, his first. In his opening drive, 2 of 4, 24 yards. And he was picked off, 6 of 8 since that interception. 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you see Quinn Ewers still wearing the earpiece, so he's hearing the play calls that are being relayed by Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, Quinn is locked in and engaged. Obviously, you can tell there's feedback that Quinn is giving Arch to be able to settle in after that first interception. He has bounced back admirably. This is what you want to see from a young quarterback that's getting their first start and experiencing adversity, is seeing how they have success.
Arch and Quinn are tight. They are genuinely close friends, even though it's a loaded quarterback room. Bolden! Did he do it? Yes, he did! From Corvallis to Austin, it don't matter for Silas Bolden. And that's a Manning dime, 41 yards.
Yeah, you can count the time that Arch Manning has back there. 1, 2, 3, what a beautiful dot. Silas Bolden makes an acrobatic catch.
Texas is going quick, but a whistle. And this looks like it will prompt a review.
Prior to the snap, replay initiated a review of their previous play. The ruling on the field was a completed catch.
So taking a look to see if this 42-yarder From Arch Manning to Silas Bolden will stand. Give them some time to look at the film. We'll get our look when we come back. The ruling on the field is a complete pass. Will it stay that way? Here's a glance. Ooh, we got some work to do upstairs. The 42-yard reception by Silas Bolden has been overturned, ruled an incompletion. Now, Fozzie, here are the two key things here. It was ruled a completed pass on the field.
Correct.
And you need conclusive evidence. I know there's some movement there, but show me the shot where you definitively see his hands are not under the football. I don't see it.
I don't see it either, but you got to live with it. Call was reversed. Second down for Texas.
So Manning with the bullet, nearly jumped by Carlin Vigors, who was smelling his second pick six in as many games.
Yeah, Carlin Vigors had the game-sealing pick against UAB that kind of set up the opportunity for them to take it and run with it. And there he smelled another opportunity, jumping Jaden Blue on the outside. If Arch Manning does not put that ball on the outside shoulder of Jaden Blue, that's 6 the other way.
Texas 3 for 3 on third down tonight. Manning with time, lets it fly again. Why not? Matthew Golden, contested catch, brings it down. And Arch don't care. He's gonna let it fly.
Again, another opportunity. It seems like you take your turns on deep shots. We've had Bond, we've had Bolden, we've had Wingo. Now we got Golden on a deep shot. Arch Manning delivers another beautiful pass. And again, Lyman is Arch's best friend, giving him the time to make throws, deep throws.
Fozzie, we've been watching this Texas program for a very long time. I cannot recall this many deep shots this early in a game. Manning trying to dance, slips through two, tries to hurdle a third and fourth. That won't work as Billy Pullen and Jalen Ware are there.
Yeah, to your point, the aggressiveness that Steve Sarkisian has shown is wearing off. And now you see Arch Manning, he's firm in the pocket. He has a lot of time, but Billy Pullen does a great job of disrupting that play and then getting Arch down on the second go-round.
2nd and 13, quick pass, that's Bond. Isaiah Bond trying to shake and bake and hand fight his way down to about the 25-yard line.
I think that's an opportunity right there. Steve Sarkisian says, hey, let's get settled back in. Nice quick throw, reading outside. You know, a little RPO action. You see the one-on-one coverage, soft coverage. Get the ball to a playmaker, and he picks up the first down.
The green dot on the back of Arch Manning's helmet. That means he has communication, the one offensive player to receive that from the offensive staff. Jaden Blue straight ahead to the 20. Communication shuts off when the play clock hits 15 seconds.
Sooner or later, Jaden Blue in this offense is going to pop one. You see they're busting at the seam, and it's right there, getting tripped up right at the end. But they're due.
Back to Blue. Gets a first down yardage. Really hasn't had the opportunity in the ground game to show his breakaway speed. Isaiah Bond says he's the fastest dude in the country. It says Jake Blue is the second, at least on this team.
Yeah, Jaden Blue is we've talked about his dynamic nature, but the Warhawks have done a pretty good job of trying to stifle that explosiveness from showing, at least on big plays.
Jonte Cook in motion. Manning going back to Blue, just overthrew him. As Blue was looking for touchdown number 3.
We talked about that explosiveness and the speed. There you see Jaden Blue one-on-one with Knutson and just slightly overthrown there in a ball that Arch Manning probably wishes he had back. Opportunity missed right there. So puts him now in 2nd and 10.
Good sign for Texas. Jared Gibson hobbled off in the first quarter. He's back in, gets the carry. He's got that style that's becoming a trademark of his, that forward lean where it almost looks like he's falling over when he runs.
Yeah, the thing about it, though, he keeps his balance. And he has excellent contact balance, something that you love to see from a true freshman. As he gets his opportunity to get spelled out, Ryan Niblett comes in. This is another opportunity for a guy inexperienced at the running back position. Let's see how he can use these reps and further his experience and hopefully make some dynamic plays.
Niblett converted from receiver to running back. And here he goes out on the flat. Gunnar Helm with the block. Niblett fighting forward inside the 5. Gunnar Helm is as complete of a tight end as you will find in America.
To your point about what Isaiah Bond said about Jaden Blue, well, he mentioned Gunnar Helm is the best tight end he has ever played football with, and it's on full display as he opens up the hole for Ryan Niblett.
Manning trying to fake. We got a flag down, as that was intended for Matthew Golden.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
A rare mistake on the preseason All-American left tackle, Kelvin Banks.
Especially whenever you're in the red zone, you don't ever want to have any penalties to put you back. But what you do want to have is a guy like Gunnar Helm going one-on-one with a big fella, finishing right there on the sideline. That's tenacity at its finest and what you want to see from your tight end.
Blue with the carry. Down to the 3-yard line. And surprisingly, Gunnar Helm came into this game leading Texas with 5 catches of at least 20 yards, 5 plays of at least 20 yards.
Yeah,
you would think that would be like a Bond or a Golden.
or Wingo for that matter, with how explosive Wingo has been. It's surprising, but not to Coach Sark.
Blue, end zone, touchdown number 3. He's healthy, and he's a force to be reckoned with.
Even though they experienced the false start, the offensive line says, don't worry, we'll make it up. See the motion there, creates a little misdirection. Split zone flow right there. Gunnar Helm going backside, creates confusion for that defense. And then Jaden Blue says, it doesn't matter. I'm going to force my way into the end zone. Great execution by that Texas offensive line and the offense as a whole, putting up another 6 points.
That's a 12-play, 87-yard scoring drive. It took 5 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock. And it was set up with a 47-yarder to Matthew Golden. Great blocking by Gunnar Helm. And then Jaden Blue sealing the deal. 28-0 Longhorns lead. Last night, 3 former Texas football players and legends went into the Texas Athletics Hall of Honor. Of course, Colt McCoy is going to be at the top of the list. Alex Okafor, I think, is still getting sacks in the Alamo Bowl. And Marquise Goodwin, one of my favorite people, period, with this amazing moment on the road at Ole Miss. Wait for it. You see the Marine in the end zone, but there is Colt McCoy. Fitting that he is here for Arch Manning's first ever start. And the first game for the Longhorns since 2008, when Colt McCoy was a starting quarterback. And from 2008 on, the last time Texas was ranked #1, the biggest heartbreak that this Texas program experienced was because a backup quarterback was not ready to go, speaking of the 2009 National Championship game. Here is Alex Chappell with the legend Colt McCoy.
Yes, Lowell, thank you. Colt, you need no introduction, but one of Texas Longhorns great, and congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Honors. When you look back on your time here playing at Texas, how do you describe what this program meant to you?
Well, listen, it's my first time back, and to see the program ranked #1 in the country, the stadium, the atmosphere, the people, man, I was truly humbled to get inducted into the Hall of Honor. But this place is unbelievable. Like, to come back for the first time, bring my kids for the first time, it is very special.
That's amazing. And you are back when it is Arch Manning's debut. What have been your impressions of the young quarterback so far?
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of both Quinn and Arch. They are just very talented, operate very well under Coach Sark's system. And, you know, to get Arch a game early in the season like this, I think it's beneficial for the entire team. This is a long season, and, you know, with the 12-team playoff, you want to play your best at the end. And so get Quinn healthy and let Arch come out here and play well. It looks like he's playing good tonight. I think it's good for everybody, but certainly fun to watch. I'm a fan now, so it's awesome.
No question there. Colt, when you think about your time playing for Mac Brown, and I guess what advice would you give to Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning as they developed through the program here at Texas that helped you on your journey?
Yeah, just, you know, there's a lot of pressure playing quarterback at the University of Texas. There's a lot of expectations, everything that goes along with sort of being a guy. And for them, I would just say, you know, you have a wonderful team around you. I mean, this team is built to win a championship, and just go out there and execute and stay focused and lean on each other. I think they have a great relationship, and Coach Sark has done a really nice job, Coach Milwee. So they're in good hands. Just go out there and ignore the noise and play your game.
Colt, we appreciate it, and thank you for the great words of wisdom.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Lowell, Fozzie.
Colt, that's a dude right there. See what this penalty is.
Delay game. Defense, number 7 for disconcerting signals. He was clapping. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And this is something that back in the day was not that big of a deal, but if you're simulating the clap that is used now for the snap, that is a penalty. And see the numbers and the accolades for Colt McCoy. It's a no-doubter, one of the greatest to ever do it for this Texas program. He got his start as a redshirt freshman, like Arch Manning. You know, there was early growing pains for Vince Young at the quarterback spot. And when you look at Archie Manning at Ole Miss, that was back in the days when freshmen weren't playing. Correct. He had to wait his turn. Eli Manning had to wait for a second year. It was only Peyton among the Mannings that was starting as a true freshman. And that's only because there was a rash of injuries at that quarterback spot. But don't let that almost baby face fool you with Colt McCoy. He was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
He was a guy that would get after it.
And he'll lower his shoulder, too. If you give him an opportunity to showcase how physical he was, he would absolutely do that. And I played with Colt, and I know the type of mindset that he had and his will to win, which is why he's one of the most famous and most winningest quarterbacks in college football history.
And he's going to be a great analyst like you are right now, Fozzie Whitaker. Just got into that end of the business as well, so we wish the best for Colt McCoy. Here on a 2nd and 7. That one was broken up by Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, here's a young individual that is a student of the game. Anytime we talk to Jahdae Barron, he mentions how much he does film study. And you see him on the corner cat right there. He's blitzing off the pressure. He stops in his tracks because he realizes General Booty is about to throw the ball where he's vacating. He says, no, not today. I'm going to put my hands up, cause a deflection, results in 3rd and 7 for the Texas Longhorns defense now.
There's the carry, and it's going to be close to the sticks for Taven Curry. Actually, a lot farther than it looks up here. It's going to be 2 yards shy before Leunga Lafau, sophomore from Hawaii, makes the stop. So Hunter Herring, we saw him on the 3rd and short enter before there was a delay of game on the Texas defense. He's now in as a short yardage quarterback. Was a starting quarterback at the beginning of last season for these Warhawks before a season-ending injury.
Timeout, ULM, their 2nd of the half.
And obviously a big call that Bryant Vincent, the head coach of the Warhawks, wants to talk it out.
Get into a 4th down situation like this, there are a lot of things to expect. 4th and 2, right? You're at midfield. The defense typically likes to pressure to be able to get the ball out quickly. You're also probably going to see man, which is what Texas has shown early on in the game in 3rd and short yardage situations. So Coach Vincent going to the drawing board, making sure his guys know exactly what to expect. And then you insert Hunter Herring into the equation, and that's another set of legs that Texas's defense has to account for if there is some sort of zone read or quarterback run attached to the play call that they want to execute.
And cannot have a procedural penalty here. Warhawks 2 of 4 on 4th down this season. Bennett Galloway is the running back. Herring will keep it. Herring fighting forward. And the initial mark looks like it's going to be a first down. Although Anthony Smith was doing his best to state the case that it should be Texas football. Huge conversion there. Herring comes off the field, Booty comes back.
Yeah, you want to try to see that momentum result into some points. And you see big physical run by Hunter Herring there, lowering the shoulder. That Texas defense didn't move too much, but it was enough to get the Warhawks the first down.
Fine job there by Galloway as Herring's lead blocker. Warhawks also down a running back. James Jones is out, undisclosed reasons. And there is Ahmad Hardy, the younger running back of this Warhawks team, just keeps fighting. It's a physical brand that he brings.
Absolutely, 5'10", 205 pounds. I don't know if I weighed 205 pounds whenever I played in the NFL, and this guy is a true freshman. He looks and plays the part. Very physical run there, breaking tackles, being able to pick up very good yardage on that first down run. Sets up 2nd and short for this ULM offense.
4.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. General Booty only 2 of 9 through the air. And will keep it on the ground. Hardy slips an ankle tackle. And then he's brought down. First down yardage. Jermaine Lole, one of the new defensive tackles, is able to make the stop for the Longhorns.
We're starting to see the Warhawks have some success. Obviously, it's featured Hardy, but that 4th down conversion has given them some extra life, and now they're able to keep moving. As the substitutions flow for this Texas defense, can the Warhawks take advantage of that?
And this is more of the style and the pace that they want to play. They want to slow it down, be methodical, and do their work on the ground. That's big Julian Nixon. In to protect. Booty has a man, sideline complete, and Michael Taft tried to lay the wood on Ryland Green. And it looks like there was contact to the helmet with the forearm. But what a play call and execution by General Booty and Ryland Green.
Yeah, the run has been so effective. It obviously affected Texas and the defenders. As you can see right there, Michael Taft tries to take a big shot. That can prove pivotal for this Texas defense, who's already thin at the safety position. If they lose a Michael Taft on the back end, then the depth gets really tested at that safety position.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Personal foul, targeting, defense. Ineligible receiver, downfield, offense, number 0. The previous play is under video review.
So even though both teams with penalties, they will check this out to see if it was in fact targeting on Michael Taft. And if it is, we'll have to sit out the second half. Texas leads 28-0. After a review, Michael Taft is a free man. They overturned the targeting call on the field, so no penalty on Michael Taft. And what's interesting, though, is that ULM was still penalized on the play for the ineligible man downfield, so they lose 5 yards to make it 1st and 15. Can't catch a break early on here, Foster.
Not at all, and Ryland Green obviously upset. He takes that hit for nothing, and then actually lose yardage on that hit, so it was for negative.
It was a beautiful catch, beautiful play design, just had a man downfield. Booty fakes the pitch, nice read over the middle. Oh, popping pads is Julian Nixon. He came into the program at 265 pounds, coaches said he looked like a right tackle. The athleticism is there, runs over Andrew Makuba.
What a strong physical play right there. And we see again, Bryant Vincent go to the call, fake pitch, because they've been running it so successfully these past few plays. Use that aggressiveness against Texas, find the opening, and then Nixon shows you what he can do whenever he gets it. And he's a physical guy to bring down.
Hardy with the carry, trying to probe in the middle. Texas defense only allows a few yards. We're coming up on the 2-minute timeout. Warhawks can get a snap off before the timeout if they like, or they can take this all the way down. And with one timeout left, it's probably in their best interest to take this all the way down to the 2-minute timeout. That's what Bryant Vincent wants, so they can look to bleed the clock, get a score, then go to the locker room. So we have hit the 2-minute timeout.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
Warhawks threatening, looking for their first score in Austin. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the show band of the Southwest on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. Logan Lindo here with Fozzie Whitaker and Alex Chappell. Favorite instrument, go!
Sousaphone.
There we go. I mean, obvious pick. Obvious pick.
I was a tuba player in middle school, by the way.
So that's before you could pick up the sousaphone.
Yes, sir.
That's basically the marching tuba, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're on it.
2nd and 6 now. 2 minutes here for General Booty and Louisiana Monroe to get on the board before the half. Taven Curry to Booty's right. Booty will roll that way. Throwing, high throw. It was going to be a tough one, but Tyler Griffin could not get there. Andrew Makuba, who got trucked a moment ago by Julian Nixon, is there for the defense. He is surprised, the Texas coaches. Pete Kwiatkowski said, we knew that he was going to be good, but he's even better than I thought he would be.
Yeah, being able to acquire a guy like Andrew Makuba with how smart he is, how tough he is, and in the hands that he's displayed, the interception against Michigan, that's what this Texas secondary was missing, and the addition of him has provided a healthy balance for them to be able to lean on down the road.
3rd down. Booty, north to south, now east to west. It will not get away. That is Leonga Lafau coming up with his 2nd sack of the season for the sophomore from Hawaii.
Yeah, this play happened because Barron Sorrell off of the edge
They're first of the half.
is able to force the running back all the way back. General Booty has to step up into the pocket, and then Leonga Lafau, he sees his opportunity in his moment. He fires, brings down the young man. That brings up 4th and 9 for the Warhawks offense.
That linebacker spot has not been the deepest in the past. Guys like Lafau bringing a lot behind David Binda and Anthony Hill, the regular starters. So 4th down. And the Warhawks will just try to get on the board. Bringing out Max Larson for the 34-yard attempt. Larson transferred from Florida State. Did not play for the Noles last year. 4 of 4 on the season. The lefty sends it away. And Louisiana Monroe puts up 3 on the board inside Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. That was more along the lines of what that man, Bryant Vincent, wanted to see from his offense early on.
Absolutely, controlling the football. They obviously had the 4th down conversion on that drive, but they used the time up efficiently. They were able to establish the run. Ahmad Hardy and Taven Curry were able to get things going on the ground, and then the play action played a huge part of getting them down in the red zone, and then cashing in on points is what you wanted to see. Now you're looking at 1:46 left for this Texas offense. perfect opportunity for Steve Sarkisian to utilize the 2-minute drill for Arch Manning, who hasn't had an opportunity in a game time situation to run that type of game time field situation.
These are the moments that, as you start to get into SEC play, and if Manning is called upon again, Mississippi State coming up next week, for instance, you need to try to replicate those moments as much as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Now, the situation with Quinn Ewers, he's got the oblique strain. Steve Sarkisian told us yesterday that he wouldn't rule out Ewers returning as early as next week for the SEC opener, but did acknowledge that if you get past that, you do have a bye week before taking on Oklahoma. For the second time tonight, the football is off the tee.
Casper.
It is. Or it could be that southeast wind
Blowing
we were talking
7
about.
miles per hour earlier.
We haven't received an update on the speed of the wind, though, since early in the game. We'll have to get on that. So now we got a holder. This is a low kick from Matthew Golden. The Golden Boy transfer from Houston to the 30. Tiptoes out of bounds. Arch Manning now with 1:40 on the clock, 2 timeouts to work with. 11 of 18, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And man, he is showing off elite arm strength tonight.
Absolutely. The number of aggressive deep shots Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning have taken is very not what we've seen from the standpoint of a Texas offense in the past. So it's refreshing that Arch Manning is able to do this, and the offensive playbook is wide open, as we've seen every play call available for Arch Manning to utilize at his disposal.
46-yarder to Golden, 56-yarder to Bond. That was not yak. That was all on arm strength. Manning, another one, double coverage. Almost threaded the needle, but Traver Randall was there to say, get out.
That was great execution by the ULM defense. They said, you've already beat us enough times over top. Well, we know it's a minute 40. You got to try to get a chunk play downfield. Randall does a great job of running with Cook, and ultimately that ends up in an incompletion. No harm, no foul for Arch Manning.
And Manning was cooking, but he's been off the field for more than 6 minutes of game time. Blue was there. Manning missed him. Second time that we've seen Manning put a little too much juice on it for Jaden Blue.
Yeah, that was another perfect play call right there by Steve Sarkisian. Arch Manning just puts a little too much, like you said. If Jaden Blue is able to come down with his catch, you're probably looking at another touchdown for Jaden Blue. That's 2 overthrow attempts that could have resulted in Texas touchdowns. Now that's something that Arch Manning will have to clean up.
They're down and there's movement, but did Billy Pullen get touched off sides by Cameron Williams?
Offside, defense, number 5, entering the neutral zone, causing an offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's exactly what happened. The electric pass rusher, Billy Pullen, jumps. Cam Williams.
Hand on the helmet.
Yep, I got you.
The game within the game right there, but easy way to pick up free 5 yards. Now you're looking at 3rd and 5. Still with a minute 29 on the clock, a lot easier to manage.
5 for 5 on 3rd down. Manning going through the progressions, picked off. Wyatt Williams, first-year transfer from Delta State, coming up with the 2nd interception of his season and the 2nd pick against Manning for this Warhawks defense tonight. What happened?
Yeah, this defense has shown they can get takeaways. The ball comes in a little bit high and hot for Jaden Blue. That's one play and a catch that I feel like Jaden Blue can make. But we know tips and overthrows, whenever you're throwing them in the middle of the field, they usually end up in interceptions, and Wyatt Williams does a great job of being at the right place at the right time. Now you're looking at this ULM offense that just had some success a drive before. Texas's defense tired after being on the field all last drive. How do they respond? A minute 21 left, and ULM has one timeout.
And that honestly looked like a quarterback that just got cold from being on the sideline that long. Credit the last drive for ULM. One-on-one. And fine coverage there by Malik Muhammad.
Again, that's what you typically see. You got sudden change. Defense gets an interception. You usually see a shot play because the defense typically is not ready to cover that. But as you see right there, Malik Muhammad, probably the best cover corner that Texas has, was up to the task, knocks down the ball in that one-on-one coverage and creates 2nd and 10 now.
One of the better guys they've had out there for a while. Talk about upside. He's got it. 2nd and 10. Devon Wells in motion. Hardy, the running back. Booty pressured. It's a low throw, but did Wells make the catch? He certainly did. 5-yard pickup.
That clock is still rolling. They got to be mindful picking up the first down on this 3rd down play, but then also utilizing out of bounds if they can in order to pocket that timeout if they have to call it.
And honestly, it's a Warhawks offense that doesn't take a lot of shots. So are they going to be able to pick up the necessary yardage here at the 34 to get it in the end zone? They play it safe and just look for 3. 30 seconds left. General Booty over the middle of the field, and a good second effort by Devon Wells. If he didn't have it initially, certainly got it on the second effort. The clock stops for a moment for the chains to be reset, but they've got to be ready to go. Clock is now running, 20 seconds left. Warhawks can call one more timeout. There's got to be urgency at play here. Way too long to get this snap off. Booty, one-on-one again, overthrowing Javon Campbell. Gavin Holmes is there. 3 seconds left, 1 timeout. It's a longer field goal. We've seen 2 downfield shots. Do we see another one here?
No, I think they got to attempt the long field goal here. They took too much time to be able to run a play after they picked up that first down. You either got to spike the ball very quickly or you got to go. Whenever they actually did their transfer of their receivers on and off and they made a substitution change, that allowed Texas to slow down the pace and make a substitution change, which ate up the clock. And now you see Texas call a timeout to be able to make sure they got the right people out there, possible opportunity to ice the kicker.
Tonight, SEC football final with Dari Noka, Chris Doering, and Benjamin Watson. We'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the SEC games. Tonight, 11 Eastern, 10 Central on the SEC Network and ESPN app. This is surprisingly, honestly, become one of the games of the week. And that really happened when Quinn Ewers went down in the second quarter last week against UTSA with the oblique strain. Arch Manning comes in and goes off with 5 total touchdowns, becoming the first SEC quarterback over the last 20 years with 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in a game that he did not start. This has been must-see TV. 45-yard attempt now for Max Larson. Just made a 34-yarder before the wideout Williams interception. Bad snap. It's a low kick. It looks like Texas got a piece of that, or ULM just had no shot with that snap. What did you see, Fozzie?
Yeah, they got great pressure there. It all started with the snap. You see the holder trying to place the ball there, but then you see the extension. We talked about the length of Ethan Burke, Alfred Collins, those guys getting a big push. Obviously, the operation and execution, that was affected by the snap, but at the same time, that Texas defense was able to get pushed and jump up.
Here's Alex with Coach Sharp.
Coach Sarkisian, the story of the night is Arch Manning, but first want to ask you about playing complementary football. What have you liked that you've seen from your team tonight?
Well, we're creating some
in the passing game. You know, defensively, we've been playing, especially on third down, forcing some third line. Got us on a couple nice plays, but better defensively, and we can't turn the ball around on offense. That's unacceptable.
You bring up the turnovers. From a teaching standpoint, when he's making his starting debut, how do you address the two tonight from Arch Manning?
Sometimes the plays aren't going to how to throw the ball.
Thank you. Oh.
And kitty gloves are off. That's tough love. High standards from Sarkisian to his young quarterback, Arch Manning, who has 2 interceptions, but some electric plays in his first career start. All Texas here, 28-3. We are here in Austin, Texas. Watch the #1 team in the nation, the Texas Longhorns, up on Louisiana Monroe, 28-3. Welcome inside DKR. I'm Bo Galindo here with the former Texas star, Fozzie Whitaker. This has been billed as one of the biggest debuts that we've seen in college football in quite some time, with the first career start for young Arch Manning. What we've seen so far in the first half is really the pump the brake moments. We've seen the undoubted skill level that's going to make Arch Manning one of the best quarterbacks in college football, but some of the mistakes you would expect from a redshirt freshman in his first start.
Yeah, absolutely. On the first drive, you see this interception by Fontroy right there. Arch breaks tackles, but then he just forces a throw. But guess what? Steve Sarkisian says, I still believe in what you do. Goes back, makes some big-time throws touchdown pass after touchdown pass after touchdown pass, but then got to clean it up right there, right? A little bit high, a little bit hot. Jaden Blue can make that catch, but it results in another interception. 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns at the end of the first half, and that's something that Steve Sarkisian wants to see Arch Manning continue to improve on.
How much of that can be coached up immediately at halftime?
A lot. The tablets are a game changer in today's time, so they're able to go to the sideline and fix a lot of those mistakes very quickly.
Louisiana Monroe will start with the football at the 25-yard line. Only 101 yards and 3 points to show for their offensive output in the first half. So big credit to Pete Kwiatkowski, defensive coordinator for Texas, and a defense that is playing like one of the best units in America.
Especially on those sudden change opportunities to end the drive, right? They are in plus territory, and I'm talking about the Warhawks. They get the ball, and then now you look at how does that defense respond after being out there and being gassed and exhausted on that previous drive. They show up in a big way, and then they find a way to block the kick to take points off of the board.
General Booty, 5 of 15 for 45 yards. Spent 2 years at Oklahoma. Hardly played before transferring here to ULM, and that is how you track down sideline to sideline. It's David Bender with the stop.
Again, where we saw the Warhawks have immediate success was being able to get Hardy and Curry involved in the run game. Now we see a different look. You got the speed sweep. David Bender just showcases the speed and then gets them down for a minimal gain.
Crazy to say with the score 28-3, but the Warhawks actually took control of the way the game was played in the second half of that second quarter. Booty will throw, and that is complete to Devon Wells. So what they did in that lone field goal scoring drive is took nearly 6.5 minutes off the clock, and that's when Arch Manning was rolling. Comes out next drive, interception.
Yeah, loses the momentum, right? Texas was able to hit on all cylinders, was creating turnovers, was hitting big play after big play. Now the offense for the Warhawks able to sustain a drive, isolates that offense, and they did not look the same after that.
Warhawks 2 for 7 on third down in the first half. And a check with me to the sideline where the head coach, Bryant Vincent, is also the offensive play caller. General Booty from his right to his left and through the hands of Javon Campbell.
A little surprise right there. The Warhawks didn't go to any of the run successful plays that they had to end the first half. Kind of created the offensive identity that they wanted to have. They go out 3 and out, give Texas a little bit of life after they were able to provide some momentum to end the first half.
And a busy evening for this man, Kinsey Ryan, who punts with the right and left foot. And staying away from Silas Bolden to the 35. So clean slate now for Arch Manning. What needs to happen starting on this drive?
Well, first off, he has to show the poise and the ability that he's already showcased whenever Texas was rolling offensively, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. Make the plays that are there. Don't get enamored of always trying to make the big splash play, but be methodical in your approach. And I think ultimately that'll help continue to keep him calm. But the offensive line has to continue to do what they've been doing and open up some more holes for Jaden Blue, because as we know, young quarterback's best friend is the run game.
Taking those shots as Juan Davis is in motion to the ground. Seam and daylight right side. And it gets clouded quickly. It's Wyatt Williams who had the interception in the second quarter.
Offensive identity right now. Get Jaden Blue the ball. You see the duo run right there. Jaden Blue utilizes his vision, creates a big gain on first down.
And Blue back after missing last week against UTSA. He's had some ankle issues that popped up in the win at Michigan. We have not seen Quintrevion Weisner yet. He was nicked up last week. Listed as questionable, limited coming into this game. Coach Sark was content with not playing him if they could avoid it. And that's overthrown to Juan Davis. There is a flag in the Texas backfield.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a late hit opportunity on Arch Manning there, which is something, if that is the case, the Warhawks do not want to give additional yardage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Fozzie, this one is late, but is it just me, or do I see Arch Manning taking more hits than Quinn Ewers at quarterback?
Yeah, he has taken more hits, and you see right there after the delivery of the ball, which results in a free 15 yards for this Texas offense. But ultimately, it comes to the point where you take hits because you're still young, still not as comfortable as a Quinn Ewers, who's year 3 in Steve Sarkisian's offense, and that's part of the difference.
Here's Blue again, man. The acceleration is quick. He's got the burst to the second level inside the 15. And Jaden Blue goes for 20 yards.
Yeah, this is the type of explosiveness play that we know Jaden Blue has in his arsenal. They run the counter play again, hits it in the hole, then showcases his speed and running ability.
His longest run of the season, flag from the defensive secondary. So Texas still trying to break the big one on the ground with the running back. Now we saw Arch show off those wheels last week with that 67-yarder, but the longest rush by Texas running back is 23 yards. That's 111th in the bowl subdivision in terms of the longest run by a running back on a team.
Illegal substitution, defense, more than 11 players on the field at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And to your point, well, 111th in the country is not going to get it done for what Steve Sarkisian has in plans,
It's
especially
134 teams.
Right. That's not good. Especially for as explosive and dynamic as these running backs are, they got to utilize that to their advantage and be able to get those guys in open space while running the ball. 19 carries for Jaden Blue, eclipses 100 yards. See what happens.
Blue cut to the left, back up the middle, as Texas is back in the red zone where they have been perfect tonight. Slow night at the office for Bert Auburn. Just haven't needed to run his big leg out yet. Sarkisian is okay with that. That's down just outside the 2-yard line. An offense that really struggled in the red zone last season. The struggles started early, and for whatever reason, just could not find the remedy all season long.
That was something that they emphasized this offseason, starting with spring ball. And we're starting to see the fruits of the labor show itself with what they've been able to do in the red zone lately.
First and goal, Jarrett Gibson, the running back, the freshman, the baby Rhino, lowers the horn and rams his way in.
Again,
He's
this
a
was
baby,
a
but he'll
drive.
bite.
This was a drive that's spearheaded by the running attack. This offensive line wanted to establish the line of scrimmage. We saw Jaden Blue rip off some very large runs earlier in this drive to set up the opportunity for Jarrett Gibson to come in and do what he does right here, is be physical at the point of attack. He lowers that shoulder, pushes his way into the end zone. Another touchdown for the young freshman, having a great season so far.
This is one of those drives that will fire up a running back like Fozzie Whitaker. 66 yards, they're all on the ground.
My favorite right there, Jaden Blue. He did all the heavy lifting. Jarrett Gibson says, go ahead, I will take the 6 points. Give it to me.
The Texas scoring drive all on the ground. 6 plays, 66 yards, all rushing. And most of it is Jaden Blue, and then Jarrett Gibson cashes in for his 3rd touchdown in his true freshman season. Bo Galindo here with Fozzie Whitaker, Alex Chappell down on the field. How big was that pickup, signing Gibson, ESPN's 2nd-ranked running back prospect in this year's freshman class? But what'd you think of the way it went down and finished? If you're Jaden Blue, do you let that happen, Fozzie?
Well, Jaden Blue obviously shows how dynamic he has been all game long. He gets a rushing touchdown there. And you see him rolling out on the rollout pass, receiving another touchdown, and then outside zone, sticks his foot in the ground, gets very physical, and on that last drive, it was all Blue, 5 carries, 63 yards. Hey, if I'm him, I'm saying, Jarrett Gibson, you gotta wait one more play, baby. I need these last 3 to go ahead and accentuate what I've been able to do.
But what did Jarrett Gibson undoubtedly say after that touchdown?
Thank you, I will take it.
Blue, you're my boy. You're my boy, Blue. My boy, Blue. As Jaden Blue becomes the first Texas player to rush for more than 100 yards this year. There is Barron Sorrell. Saw him flash as a youngster his freshman year. Scratching the surface, showing what he could do in a performance against Texas Tech that he really said was the game that made him believe he could turn into a star for this Texas defense, and he has.
Yeah, that belief has obviously translated into his maturation and actually being a leader on this football team. He's part of the focal point of getting the pressure at the DN position changed around.
And that is David Binda gobbling up Ahmad Hardy. Give him the TFL going backwards.
And right on cue, talking about Barron Sorrell, he's not faked by the misdirection. The pitch sets the edge. Hardy does a great job of avoiding Sorrell's first tackle, but that Longhorn defense is just too fast, and they all carry together to end up in a TFL.
A few times now tonight, Sorrell has not gotten credit in the box score any plays, but he's set up other big stats.
Yeah, that's kind of where his role has been in the past, is being able to get into position to help other guys make the play. As you see here, this is that dime NASCAR package that Pete Kwiatkowski mentioned. Got all your rushers in, Sorrell, Moore, and Collins.
Play clock winding down, almost was at 0. Sorrell with the completion to General Booty. He threw it, he hauled it in, courtesy of that breakup by Barron Sorrell.
Again, that NASCAR package doing a great job. General Booty seeing what he can do with the ball. Might have been best just to knock it down right there. They lose some yardage on that, but it doesn't result in a turnover, which is probably the best case scenario.
General Booty is now tied for the 2nd most catches by Louisiana Monroe tonight. 4 players with 1. Devon Wells leads with 4. Flag down. The Texas get a piece of that. Off the roll, Bolden, and another flag on this end. So we got Hankies down in the end zone, and then more down around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, the referees are huddling up to see what these calls are and if they may offset each other. But one thing I'm sure Steve Sarkisian wants to work on is the 5 penalties that they had in the first half. That's not indicative of the standard that they want to set, as some of those penalties were on special teams and negated great field position. So as he signaled there, looks like another illegal formation by the Warhawks. Illegal block behind the
There are
back.
2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Illegal formation, kicking team, more than 5 players in the backfield. During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team. Those fouls offset, still 4th down.
Well, officials were reaching for anything yellow to throw it on the field for this play. What happens here?
Yeah, you see the gunner down at the bottom of the screen. He's not on the line of scrimmage. He barely got set. And that resulted in not enough guys on the line. And then you zoom in here. Roberson just gets a little too handsy with the block in the back, trying to help secure Silas Bowden a spot. They offset, repunt.
Second illegal formation call against ULM. And then a punt unit. Oh, look at that, Bowden feeling spicy. And this could draw a flag as Texas is quick to respond to their teammate after Leonard Harris grabbed an ankle, grabbed the leg, but no flag. Cooler heads prevail. As Texas will send Arch Manning back on the pitch, up 35-3. This is wild. 56 days after Archie Manning made his first career start, his grandson Arch does as well. And we see the similarities here, Fozzie Whitaker. The most athletic Mannings. I mean, Archie was known for that in his days at Ole Miss and with the New Orleans Saints. Got the nickname Super Manning for moves like that. This is how all the Manning family did their debuts. Archie in 68, Peyton in 94, Eli in 2001, Arch tonight. Eli Manning, by the way, in his game, first career start, at one point had 18 straight completions, which was a school record. 5 passing touchdowns at that point was a school record as well. Peyton Manning is wild. He got his first start after the 2 quarterbacks ahead of him were both injured, with the last being Todd Helton, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer and a star for the Colorado Rockies. But all that matters at the end of the day is the W. You looked at the numbers for Peyton Manning. They weren't great, but became a legend in Knoxville.
Absolutely. Still a little salty about Peyton Manning. Took away my Super Bowl championship opportunity. But I do love his game and what he's been able to provide to the game.
Manning Passing Academy is one of the best proving grounds for young quarterbacks in America. Manning dropped the snap, got hit, unleashes it, Bond tried to make the adjustment. And that really sums up everything on that play. There's a little bit of the inexperience, but the undoubtable, undeniable talent to just get that throw off.
Yeah, the snap is a little bit to his right, couldn't handle it, takes another hit. That's something to continue to watch out for. Isaiah Bond tries to make that catch, but what a great job by that defender being able to knock it out. Now you're looking 3rd down for this Texas offense.
I asked Jake Majors, starting center, what changes with Arch at quarterback. He says not much, but I have been on him to clap louder. He does not clap as loud as Quinn Ewers, and that signals the snap. Sidearm check down, incomplete to Jaden Blue. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, you can see Steve Sarkisian right there. The play calling opportunity changed drastically. We saw the last drive. This Texas offense wanted to establish the run a little bit more. Then they come out first play, get the run started, 2 straight incompletions. Just not the best showing for Arch Manning being able to try to get the pass game going in the second half.
I know everybody in this building wearing burnt orange wanted to see a 500-yard night, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. As a punt is away, and out of bounds. But this really allows them to coach and correct while also reducing the fever pitch for the moment around Arch Manning and just get better knowing that they're going to come out of here with a win.
Yeah, when was the last time Arch Manning was able to play through a full game, or at least have this type of experience through the first half and then going halfway through the third quarter? And I think this is invaluable experience that he'll be able to continue to take with him as he continues to grow as a young passer. You see him on the tablet there. Those are great teaching moments and learning tools for him to continue to put into his arsenal and continue to get better as he goes down his career journey.
General Booty now replaced by Aiden Armenta, transfer from New Mexico, who followed Brian Vincent, who was his OC, even though Armenta did not play in New Mexico last year. But Vincent told us that he was going to challenge General Booty to be better this week and in this game. And the numbers just 8 of 20 for 42 yards and a pick. So Armenta is getting his opportunity.
I think you get to see an opportunity for the Warhawks to see what they have behind General Booty, because we know how physical the game of football can be. Whenever you have an opportunity to get reps, might as well utilize it.
A couple of spots, because Zario Smith also checks in at running back. He's only got 2 carries on the year. And no gain on that play. Royce Blackwell and Colin Simmons were there with the stop. Both these teams also need to focus on getting some guys out there, staying healthy, because they've got conference play coming up. UL Monroe will be at Troy, Texas. They'll take on Mississippi State. Warhawks 2 of 9 on third down. Going to be a short pass, looking for some yak, and not going to get it as Jahdae Barrett is there with a stop on Artis Cole. 4th down. Now, we talked a little bit about Jahdae Barrett and how much film study he does, and it allows him to have a lot of freedom the way he plays the game. He admitted a little less freedom. He has to stick to the plan a little bit more, being the boundary cornerback now.
Yeah, he got to be a little bit more patient. He doesn't necessarily have safety over the top help all the time versus when he played at nickel, and that makes a big difference in how he has to attack the run.
Right-footed punt here, fair catch, called for by Silas Bolden. Another opportunity for Arch Manning to work on the craft. 6:02 left to go in the third quarter. No good. Chris Doering and Benjamin Watson take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the SEC games. Tonight, 11 Eastern, 10 Central on the SEC Network and ESPN app. I think we'll be talking about this one. Also, LSU pulling away late against UCLA. How about Vandy? Is Vandy for real? I mean, they take Missouri to 2 overtimes. Tigers get that win. How about what's going down in Norman? As Jaden Blue takes the carry to the left side for the 3-yard pickup. I mean, Tennessee is up 22-3. I just wonder what Oklahoma fans think to see Josh Heupel, the favorite son, comes back. Led them to their last national championship. Now he's got Tennessee rolling, and he was the guy that was shown the door so they could bring in Lincoln Riley to that program.
Yeah, there's probably a different type of animosity in that game.
You think? Here's Manning taking another shot, looking for the freshman. Some contact, no flag. As Carl Funtroy, the man that had the first pick against Manning, was running with the freshman Ryan Wingo.
Again here, as you see, offensive line does a phenomenal job giving Arch Manning the time. And another deep pass attempt that Sark has called and that Arch has been able to try to execute. Little handsy right before the ball comes down, ultimately ends up in an incompletion.
Back to Blue. Engulfed by Earl Barquette Jr.
We've said his name several times already. He's made his presence felt in the backfield, that's for sure. Now you're looking at a 4th and 8. And Texas goes on their second consecutive drive, 3 and out, punting the ball back to the Warhawks.
Go back to the comments from Steve Sarkisian yesterday in our production meetings that Quinn Ewers is nearly flawless on the short and intermediate routes, with his reads, with his decision-making and accuracy. That's really the part of the game with his short punt that is lacking for Arch. And short punt with a great Texas roll to the 3-yard line, where it's been a lot of all or nothing for Arch. He's taken the deep shots. They're exciting, but those are not high percentage throws.
Absolutely. In the mid-range, especially within the RPO game, which is where we've seen Quinn Ewers have tremendous success. I go back to last week, the play of the first touchdown that Texas scored. Quinn Ewers on an RPO, he fakes the run and then throws the ball right to Isaiah Bond for that touchdown pass. And it was crazy because the window, there was no window, to be honest with you, but that's the type of accuracy that Quinn Ewers possesses. Whenever you're talking about the RPO, and that's something that, as you mentioned, Arch Manning is trying to continue to work on, and where this Texas offense has kind of faltered so far tonight.
That's the crazy thing about the hype around Arch. You understand it, but through the first few games, Quinn Ewers was honestly playing at a Vince Young, Colt McCoy type level.
Elite.
False start. Offense, number 60. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
That's on the left tackle, Sam Carson. You see Quinn was 14 of 16 for 185 and 2 touchdowns against UTSA when he left in the second quarter. Strained oblique, could be back as early as next week. It seems almost a certainty that he'll be back in time for Oklahoma after playing Mississippi State and then the bye week, and all sorts of issues now. The Warhawks are backed up, back-to-back penalties.
False start. Offense, number 65. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
A team with a lot of new players, 73 to be exact, playing on the road for the first time, and not just any road environment. A crowd inside Darrell K. Texas Memorial Stadium that has methodically become one of the more difficult places to play over the last decade. Part of that, the team has gotten a lot better. Rosario Smith, the running back. And that is going to be dangerously close to a safety, but the officials are ruling it outside of the end zone. Second down. That was close, Fozzie.
Very close. As you see, this defense is hungry. They smell blood in the water. The ball is on the inch-yard line, and you can see everybody fighting very, very hard.
Second effort.
He just gets out of there. Kobe Black comes in at their cornerback position, young freshman, try to keep them from exiting the end zone, but he has just enough to reach over, save themselves a safety.
Second and 12. Aiden Armenta cannot be comfortable standing in his own end zone. And a flag is down behind the Texas secondary. Delay of game.
Delay game. Offense, half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Hey Siri, how can we make life more difficult? And Bryant Vincent doing his best to just settle everybody down.
That's what he mentioned at the end of the first quarter, was getting settled in. Everybody's moving at a frantic pace. You're backed up. The crowd noise is active. You have 2 false start penalties. You know it's going to be hard count. Now you have a delay of game. That's the difficulty hearing at this point in time in the game.
Texas smelling blood. There's 2 points. Leonga Lafau. His second huge stop tonight. It's time for the safety. He's young, he's a little reckless, but he's a fun watch for these Texas Longhorns.
Absolutely. We talked about blood is in the water. This Texas defense, they smelt it. Look at the push by that defensive line, and then Leonga Lafau does a great job of finding the opening and then stuffing Smith in the backfield. That results in 2 points for that Texas team, and an opportunity to get the ball back to try to create some offensive continuity.
His second tackle for loss tonight. has a sack, and that TFL for the safety. A lot of guys on this Texas team that have worked their way up from being special team stars in year number 1. The foul with Travion Wisner has got a lot of run.
Yes.
Outside of tonight, a running back, Gunnar Helm is another great example of a guy that bided his time on special teams before he got a moment to be a playmaker.
Absolutely. Juan Davis is another example of a guy like you just mentioned. That goes to show you the development that Steve Sarkisian has been able to put in since year number 1, year number 2, year number 3. The growth and the progress that these guys have made, it's made apparent because now they're making plays in big and dramatic fashion.
First safety for the Texas defense since 2021 against Rice. It's 37-3. Longhorns with the lead. Matthew Golden inside the 15. Transfer from Houston, spinning and pulled down north of the 35-yard line. Alex.
Well, Lowell and Fozzie, who both are talking about the culture that's been set here, the attack mentality and playing like a starter. When I spoke with Anthony Hill Jr. just about the overall team, he said that's the sentiment. We want to show a lot of depth. Every person or every teammate I have, we practice and prepare like a starter. And he said right now you're seeing that depth on full display early in the season. It's exciting for this team to see it to come to fruition.
And there was no depth when Steve Sarkisian took over this program. They had some very good frontline starters. Don't get me wrong there, but the depth was not where it needs to be. There's Silas Bolden, and a lot of that depth has been picked up in the transfer portal and on the recruiting trail with Anthony Hill, 5-star signee before last season.
Steve Sarkisian seems to have found the perfect blend of getting high school talent and then supplementing with elite talent in the transfer portal.
Quick strike to Jonte Cook. And Jonte Cook coming up with his first catch of the night. A lot of people expected Jonte to probably have bigger numbers to this point of the year, but it goes back to what we talked about, looking for veteran players. And what Texas has really done in the transfer portal, they just identify exactly where they need the help and they go get it. It's not like a blanket recruiting job through the portal. And that is through the hands of Ryan Wingo, the freshman. David Gotze there in coverage.
Yeah, to your point, being able to identify where they can utilize the additional help in the transfer portal. You bring in 3 guys that have a ton of experience. That experience has already played out. But what it does is continue to build up the depth where now you have 3 rotation of receivers able to come in and this offense not miss a beat.
To the freshman, Jared Gibson. And it really says a lot about program development that we could be inside the Texas football office yesterday. No Quinn Ewers. C.J. Baxter lost to the preseason. That's your #1 running back, quarterback. They sit the #1 in the AP Top 25, and there's zero doubt. It almost felt like they just didn't really care, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just another day at the office, and that's something approach-wise that Steve Sarkisian learned from Nick Saban. Jared Gibson shifting his way for the first down.
Thought you was going to say he learned that from Timon and Pumbaa, because Hakuna Matata, my brother, means no worries.
For the rest
business
of
as
your
usual.
days. And there is, what is it, Pride Rock?
Yeah, Simba, Pride Rock,
The
Mufasa.
future of Pride Rock.
There he is.
Just to be clear, Quinn Ewers was not thrown off a mountain into a valley of wildebeest.
Not to my knowledge.
Gibson showing the hands and the quick acceleration. He is young, but he is dangerous and getting better with every snap.
A couple of drives ago, we talked about how Jaden Blue is able to do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then Jared Gibson comes in the red zone and gets a touchdown. Well, now we see the exact opposite. Jared Gibson comes off, Jaden Blue comes in. Let's see if he can pay it forward.
Manning, there's the intermediate stuff to Silas Bolden. What about that find?
That looked exactly like the play Quinn Ewers ran just last week against UTSA that resulted in a touchdown. You see the back, goes right there. Arch Manning finds that window, fires a dart, absolute laser to Silas Bolden. He has nothing but to catch it. He does that, picks up a big game.
Jaden Blue wants the end zone. It misses out on touchdown number 4 by about a foot. And that will wrap up the third quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Texas got the safety, now trying to drive for another score with Arch Manning taking his lumps, but coming out like a champ, learning from all of them. It's 37-3, number 1 Texas leads. Viva the great state of Texas. This is the hype train going into the fourth quarter. Fuzzy, we just saw a mariachi performing AC/DC's Thunderstruck in front of this big, beautiful crowd. I've never seen that before, but I'm in for it. All of it.
I've never seen it before either, but that just made me want to hire a mariachi band for my next birthday.
Had one for my rehearsal dinner back in the day in the great city of San Antonio. It ain't a party without a mariachi. First play of the fourth quarter. Second and goal, Jaden Blue looking for touchdown number 4. He's got it. 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. He's healthy, he's dangerous. Look out for Jaden Blue.
This is what you love to see late in the game. First play of the fourth quarter. Obviously the ball is inside the 1-yard line. This Texas offense says, we're not getting cute. We're not going to get too fancy. We're going to line up and just shove it down your throat. And that's exactly what they did. Played big boy physical football right there. And Jaden Blue puts up his 4th touchdown on the night.
That's a heck of a stat line right there. 25 carries, 124 rushing yards. Those are all career highs. Bijan Robinson had 4 total touchdowns back in 2022. And shades of that tonight from Jaden Blue.
Again, here's that will, that tenacity, that grit. Offensive lineman finishing in the end zone. You finish with your man in the end zone. The running back has to do his job and put the defense to sleep,
You just said
which is what Jaden Blue did right there.
Did you say night-night?
He just said night-night, trying to put the Warhawks to sleep on that last touchdown run.
Man, I know it's coming up on your bedtime.
Whose bedtime?
You're always up. I watch your Instagram. You're up working out like at 4:30 every morning.
Gives me extra energy.
You got to sleep at some point. No sleep for Jaden Blue. He's just happy to be back out there. Get the bulk of the carries with no Quintravion Wisner tonight. Got nicked up last week. Nothing long-term with him. It's good to have a stable when it comes to the premier positions. But really, none of this is possible without great leadership. And even though Quinn Ewers is not playing, here was my biggest deal coming into this game. I knew about the hype around Arch Manning, but if you know this program, you know there is zero question about who the leader is, who's the guy. It's that man right there, Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, 2 years ago, though, this was not the Quinn Ewers that this Texas team saw.
Great point.
He looked to other people to be the leaders, Roschon Johnson, Bijan Robinson, great leaders. But now you see Quinn has left his mark. He's left his stamp. He is the true unsung leader of this offense and this team as he gets them fired up for this fourth quarter.
And they will need that experience moving forward. Armenta completing to the tight end, Nate Sullivan. I think former Texas quarterback Todd Dodge summed it up best in comments that I read this week. He said, is there any doubt that Arch Manning can play gangbusters in the SEC? I was like, no, of course, he can do it. but the difference is Quinn has done it.
Yes.
And the way Kyle Flood put it, in the marquee games, that's when Ewers is at his best. At Alabama, at Michigan. That's when he really comes to life. And there is Ethan Burke with the stop. Mentioned Todd Dodge, former Austin Westlake head coach. He's a product of that Westlake program. Ethan Burke. Because Fozzie, it's still a lot of unknown coming up.
Absolutely.
Mississippi State has struggled, but you're talking about the first SEC game for the Longhorns next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. At the same time, this is critical opportunity for a lot of the young guys to be able to get a chance to showcase their abilities, as well as learn, see what it's like to play in a big-time atmosphere and make some big-time plays.
3rd and 7, the Texas defense has stymied the Warhawks to 102 yards. Pressure off the edge, a really nice read underneath. Devon Wells with the completion, but Javion Cole is well short. There is a flag down at the 39-yard line.
This play is typically used similar to a screen route, but you have wide receivers blocking downfield. I'm wondering if that's going to be the call there with the ball being thrown across the line of scrimmage. There's some talks about that, which makes it an offensive pass interference because they're blocking downfield.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. Result of play is 4th down.
Punt unit now comes on for Louisiana Monroe. A relentless performance by the Texas defense, one that has only allowed 22 points all season long. By the way, we've seen them add some points too. 2 to be exact with that safety. Punt almost blocked. Bolden wants a fair catch. A lot of Warhawks around him. He gets a fair catch. The 43-yard line. 12:53 left. How much more Arch Manning do we get? Looks like Trey Owens could be coming out.
Arch Manning's first career start. We take a look here. Drops back, shows all the things that we wanted to see. Presence in the pocket, poise, accuracy downfield as he made some very big explosive plays. Find Jaden Blue right there in the end zone. Ryan Wingo, one of the favorite targets, connects on another big-time touchdown, and then Matthew Golden transfer in from Houston. And that is how Arch Manning finishes his first start.
I got a little more Houston flavor. Quarterback with the true freshman Trey Owens at a Cy-Fair. Played last week late, 2 of 4 for 19 yards. And a young guy that was best described by Steve Sarkisian as a quarterback that's not exactly warm and fuzzy. He's got that edge, that alpha edge, if you will. There's Jarrett Gibson sailing through a sea of Warhawks for the first down pickup.
The run game picks up right where they left off. You got a bunch of new faces in there. The offensive line, receiver position, quarterback position. Still same results for this Texas football team currently.
Jarrett Gibson, why not? Left side, rolling off his block. And another chunk play. First career start for the latest Manning to hit college football. 15 of 29, 258, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Responded well from both those picks, and you know there was some hard coaching in the locker room, but that's the thing that Sark has told us. He's accepting of the hard coaching. He's been raised around it. He's gonna get better with time. Colin Page now, the running back. Oh, shiftiness. You can't stop Colin Page. To the 20, trying to hurt him.
What beautiful play right there. Colin Page says, hey, all these other guys have had their opportunity. I need to get in on some of this action. Forces a missed tackle, showcases the speed. And then the Austin native lowers that shoulder and finishes the run the best way that he knows how.
19-yard pickup. Only Jaden Blue has a longer run and just by a yard. A little out of sync at the start of that play, but let's go back to the performance from Arch. Ultimately, what does it mean?
I think ultimately you get your feet wet, right? You see what Arch does whenever he's in actual game-like situations. How does he handle the pressure whenever he's under duress or throws an interception? The response that he's able to have coming back, completing passes, leading offensive scoring drives, that experience is invaluable in case Quinn Ewers has another mishap, which you don't want to see happen, but that experience is something that you want to take with you for the rest of the season.
Colin Page with a couple of more. And it was an impossible situation for Arch Manning to live up to the expectations around this. I mean, the fact that he went in 1 week from the 33 shortest odds to win the Heisman to the 7th is preposterous. It's like everybody is saying, no, Quinn is coming back in a couple of weeks, but there's a lot of fans out there that still wanted to go all in with Arch Manning right now, win the Heisman right now, whether he's on the field or not. His time will come.
Yes.
The coaching staff will tell you he's going to be a great quarterback, but it took Quinn Ewers a little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing year 3 Quinn right now playing at an elite level. Unfortunate for the injury, but at the same time, that's what you get whenever you're in Steve Sarkisian's for multiple years and have that opportunity.
And Ryan Niblett now with the carry on 4th down, second effort. Will it be enough? And it will. First down, Texas. Taking us under 9 minutes left. The young guys getting some run.
Yeah, here you go, Ryan Niblett, converted wide receiver, coming in to add some more depth at the running back position. He goes to show you how physical he can be, right? Not only was he a wide receiver, but he knew in high school whenever he needed to go get the yardage, he could do just that as they pick up the first down on that 4th down play.
A lot of similarities to Roshan Johnson and how he ended up as a running back. Niblett, the corner, the pylon, touchdown. Ryan Niblett finding the end zone for the first time in his Texas career. He was a receiver. There were injuries at the running back spot in camp. They said, hey, he's got some juice. He's got the frame. Why not? We need the depth. Niblett answers the call and is into the end zone.
Niblett can absolutely fly. You see him outrun the blockers because he says, hey, I'm fast enough to get to the pylon right there. I can outrun everybody that's on the inside of me, including the defense. He runs to the pylon, gets that first touchdown in his career, and what a celebration it is for that Texas offense there.
And here's the pylon cam. Oh, takes it out. I think there was some collateral damage, maybe with their cameraman down on the field as well. I mean, fortunately, though, that's Ryan Niblett at 185 and not a Jarrett Gibson, a.k.a. Baby Rhino, at 205. Looks like we're good. Yeah.
There he is.
We're okay.
He gave the
game on. But that's a story of selflessness with Ryan Niblett, because mentioning Roshan Johnson, he was a quarterback. There was injuries and a lack of depth at running back. They moved him there, and he's made the NFL as a running back. I'm not sure if that's the future for Ryan Niblett, but great things can happen after a move like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you show the unselfish nature, you're putting the team before your own personal needs or what you thought. As they take a look at this review, Ryan Niblett is just a perfect example of being where you need to be to have an opportunity to make a play. And that's a close call right there. You see his hand touches out of bounds. Not quite sure if the ball crosses that pylon before his hand touches down on the ground, which would obviously erase the touchdown.
Oh, no.
A half a yard to the goal line.
All right, you got to roll Niblett back in there, right?
Well, Jarrett Gibson came in a couple series ago and took one away from Jaden Blue, but let's take a closer look. Again, Ryan Niblett races to the sideline, does a great job of defeating that block, uses his inside hand to grab the pylon, but that left hand that appears with the ball doesn't get across the plane, which results in second down now.
Niblett gets this carry, right?
Yes.
You can't have a celebration like that and have it nullified. A nice move, second effort. Do you celebrate it again, though? Because
Absolutely.
now it's the first career touchdown for Ryan Niblett.
And you see him celebrating in the same exact way that he did previously. The reception by the teammates is the exact same as well. You don't take away 6 and then not give him the opportunity to put it back up there. He does a great job of finishing and enforcing that run in the way this Texas offense wanted to punctuate that drive.
And he gets some love from his running back coach, Tashard Choice. Found the end zone a lot in his career at Georgia Tech and in the NFL. Over the 4th straight game, the Texas Longhorns have scored 50. 57-yard 10-play drive on the ground. Niblett got it once, did it again, got it for real the second time.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
That's how I get by.
Mo Galindo here with Fonzie Whitaker and Alex Chappell. And Fonzie, you're thinking along the same lines of the All-State playoff predictor, because last week in our game at the U of H, you revealed your bracket and you had Texas as your #1 seed in the playoff.
Absolutely, and this is the same way the All-State playoff predictor have predicted Texas to have the best chance at creating an opportunity to play in the second consecutive playoff, but first time in the 12-team playoff format.
It's going to get real interesting, though, getting into SEC play. October 12th is the big one on the road at Oklahoma. But first, they just have to figure out Mississippi State foe that they obviously don't have a lot of history with as their SEC opening opponent on September 28th. And then they have the bye week before taking on Oklahoma, giving Quinn Ewers more opportunity to get healthy. But, man, OU and Georgia back-to-back. And then, of course, you don't sleep on Vanderbilt. Not anymore.
No.
Took Missouri to the limit today. And you survive all of that, and you go to College Station, which is the way college football should be.
Absolutely.
The game is better because that is back on the schedule. Here is Smith with 3 yards on first down. Elijah Fisher, man, great story. This guy is in his 5th season at Louisiana Monroe. Unfortunately, he's seen losses, he's seen coaching changes. He talked to us about why he has stayed. And this is a little surprising because you don't hear it a lot. He said it's because of his academic counselor, Oliver Jackson. He simply could not turn his back on him and feels you should give back to the people that give to you. And Mr. Jackson has helped him in so much through his career when he had some very tough academic times to help get him back on track. That's a powerful connection.
Absolutely. The other additional piece that he mentioned was talking about being different, right? In a time where transition and hitting the transfer portal has kind of been the new norm in today's society for college football. Said he wanted to be different, stand up for his academic counselor, but at the same time, finish what he started, get his degree, showcase what it means to be a Warhawk through and through at the beginning of his recruitment and now through his graduation.
And look, the score speaks volumes. It's been all Texas, 51-3. As Armenta running, pressured, looking for the sideline completion. There is a flag down, and that is back inside the 20.
It's going to go against the Warhawks.
Illegal block in the back, offense, number 34. That penalty's declined. Resulting play is 4th down.
So the score speaks volumes. It's all Texas 51-3. But this is a Louisiana Monroe team that started off 2-0 after losing 10 straight games coming into this year. And if you talk to Elijah Fisher, he says the standard is different. There is buy-in under Bryant Vincent, their new head coach, that there wasn't under Terry Bowden in 3 years in Monroe. They believe that Bryant Vincent is the guy that can make them relevant in the Sun Belt. Whoa, Silas Bolden backtracking, but showing some great hands there. So Texas will take over on offense with 6:34 left. Louisiana Monroe, the last 5 seasons, 8-36. This season, a 2-0 start. They did start 2-0 last season, but like we told you earlier, these players inside Bryant Vincent's locker room feel like this start is different. They will enter Sun Belt play next week on the road at Troy. Trey Owens back at quarterback. Here's Colin Page bouncing it. Now, there's a motto on the shirts that ULM wears before the game, 134 PTWLFG. The 134 represents a college football publication that picked Louisiana Monroe as 134 out of 134 FBS teams, saying they would be the worst team in college football. PTW proved them wrong. LFG, let's freaking go. It's galvanized them, Fawcett.
Absolutely. Everybody has a chip on their shoulder. It's funny, we spoke with some of the players as College Page received his handoff about chip mentality, right? Billy Pullen, Elijah Fisher, General Booty, the 3 players that we were able to speak with, they all were overlooked at some point in time in their high school career, or even in their JUCO, community college, wherever they all came from. And that chip mentality is something that they live by, and that shirt, 134 PTW, goes to show they're able to pull from the same type of mentality to be able to breathe and speak the same language and fight for the things that they are looking to accomplish this upcoming season for Coach V's first year as head coach.
2nd and 6, back to Colin Page. He's upended, but into Warhawks territory. Alex.
And for Coach Vincent, along the journey with him are his 2 sons. You know, something he talked about, you guys, when we were meeting with him. He said it's all about family first, part of this team, the culture. Yes, his players are his family, but his sons. Brady is ULM's tight ends coach, and Brett is a walk-on wide receiver for the Warhawks. He says part of the family that they is all about trust and loyalty. He shares that at home and with all his players here with the Warhawks.
Cole Lord now checks in at quarterback. But this is the Colin Page show. And it was tough. His youngest son, that's freshman receiver, he played in 4 different high schools in 4 different years because Dad was moving around that much. And every time it was an opportunity to go somewhere else, and someone said, Dad, let's do it. I'm fired up. And ultimately, it's been really good for him. New environments, learning new people, learning new systems.
Yeah, family first is the approach that Coach Vincent has been able to instill, not only in his immediate family, but in the family of the football team that they've been able to create. They fight for one another. And I know the score doesn't necessarily tell the entire story, but year number 1 for Coach Vincent, starting off 2-0, that's a huge deal, especially getting the win 2 weeks ago against UAB. That's something to build off of for this early stages in the program of where Coach Vincent has taken this team already.
And he knew it would be tough. He knew this would be a real challenge for his team with so many new faces, new coaching staff, new players. And it has been, because this is Texas playing its first game as the #1 team in America since 2008. Do you remember that game?
I do. I was on the field for that game.
It was the infamous Crabtree game. It's been some bad memories around this program since 08, 09, 2010. But it's been a slow climb back to this #1 spot, and it really has been because the job Steve Sarkisian has done rebuilding everything inside and outside of this program. This is the most talent-rich Texas football has been since the Mac Brown heydays there in the late 2000s.
Absolutely, and you talk about talent rich. It all happens through the developmental process that Steve Sarkisian has gone on and the culture that's been instilled since year number 1 for Coach Sark.
And a flag down.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That's on the sophomore center, Connor Robertson. But along with all that talent, some challenges. How do you manage a quarterback room where you have Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, and everybody's always going to be calling for the other one, basically. That's the way it works with stacked rooms, but they've got experience with this. Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, they were all in Steve Sarkisian's quarterback room at Alabama at the same time. It's a quarterback luxury here at the University of Texas. We hit the final 2-minute timeout. And Bama idle this week. Ohio State was coming off a bye and struggled early against Marshall, but then opened it up to win 49-14. Tennessee and Oklahoma right now. Oklahoma is scored late to make it a 25-15 game with 1:18 left. OU still with 3 timeouts there. Missouri got challenged by Vanderbilt, went to 2 overtimes, but Missouri still won. Miami, no problems with the South Florida team that we recently saw challenge Bama. Flea flicker, let it go, picked off. Javion Cole, give me that.
Man, it was a great play call by Coach Vincent. Right, you expect him run, maybe running out the clock with less than 2 minutes left in the game. You call a flea flicker, and it almost works out to perfection. It looks like he just puts a little too much air on the ball. Cole finds a way to be a ball magnet. Ball hawking abilities are on full effect as he gets his first interception of the season.
So we saw Ant Hill with an INT, and we saw Javion Cole, a transfer from San Jose State. So that now makes 7 interceptions for Texas in game number 4. There are 5 coming into this game, the most to the SEC. Joe Tatum now at quarterback. Reed Watkins, the running back. And Texas putting the finishing touches on this. Here's the deal, right? Lost in the sauce, basically, of Arch Manning's debut is another dominant performance from the Texas defense.
Yes.
You always talk about not playing down to your competition. They did not play down. They suffocated the Warhawks.
Absolutely, all the way to that last play that we just saw right there with the turnover on the flea flicker. This Texas defense has turned a new leaf. They've turned a new leaf.
1-3-1.
Sorry, there seem to be some clock issues, but they've turned a new leaf with being able to play complementary defense. We see the edge rushers penetrating, creating edge pressure for the quarterback, making it uncomfortable. We see the interior guys still stopping the run. And then where Texas suffered the most last year was in the secondary. They've made major improvements this season so far, which has benefited them to a great degree.
Man, right now, through 4 games, they're putting up historic numbers that are in line with some of the greatest defenses in Texas history that were back before the explosion of offense in college football.
Yes.
There's the numbers. 2nd nationally in defensive efficiency coming into this game. And it's been a long process for Pete Kwiatkowski as well. Year number 1 didn't go as planned. Had some high-scoring affairs, but again, adding talent, addressing the big fellas and Sweat and Murph, not inside on that defensive line. It's been tough. That's that reload mentality at its best. And this should be the final play for the Texas Longhorns as Arch Manning joins his grandpa, Archie Manning, exactly 56 years after Archie became the first Manning to win his first career start. Arch does it just like his uncles, Peyton and Eli, did at Tennessee and Ole Miss, respectively. It's just the start. The future is so bright, but there's plenty of corrections and coaching that will happen this week.
And I think that's the best part, is Arch had an opportunity last week to showcase what he can do this week, run the full game, and what complimented Arch Manning the best was having an opportunity to hand the ball off to a guy like Jaden Blue, receiving out of the backfield, do it all, that offensive line. It was a complete package by this offense altogether, and the defense showing up as well.
Great to have Jaden Blue back for the Texas Longhorns. Career high, 25 carries for 124 yards and 4 total touchdowns. Now standing by with Alex Chappell.
Jaden, congratulations on the win. Lowell there just reading about, or going off the stats of your night, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 1 receiving. What can you say about the night that you put together?
Yeah, it just shows all the work that I put in, put in the work day in, day out. And, I give Coach Joyce and Coach Sark a lot of credit. They stay on me, make sure I'm doing the little things and getting the details so that I can have nights like this. So for me to come out here and have the game like I did coming off an injury is very big.
Absolutely, it was a huge welcome back, and you were certainly your quarterback's best friend tonight. What did you see from Arch Manning in his starting debut?
Yeah. Me being by his side is very big. He's very young. Of course, it was his first game starting, so I just wanted to make sure that I was there for him. But like I said, everybody know Arch is super talented, and I knew that he was going to come out and play well enough for us to win. So I'm very proud of him.
Yes, you have 2 quarterbacks now executing at a high level. Got to ask you, though, a relentless defense now is beginning SEC play after starting the season 4-0. How would you describe the mindset of this team as you get ready for SEC football?
Yeah, well, the main thing is, we want to take one game at a time, man. Whatever week it is, we want to dominate, and we want to leave nothing unturned. So, we emphasize, finishing a lot, and we never underestimate opponent, even a team like this, like ULM. So, we just come out every night, and we know teams are going to give us our best shot, so we have to make sure we're prepared.
Jaden, thank you. Longhorn fans, happy to see you back. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Lowell.
But this defense, wow. Now, 22 points allowed on the season through 4 games. The 3rd fewest allowed through the first 4 since 1965. But why are we talking about defense when another Manning makes his debut and gets a dub? Arch Manning, first career start, first win as a starter at #1 Texas. And its first game as the top team since '08 rolls on 51-3.